All right, so part E asks, what is the expectation value of x? And the expectation value of x is given by this equation right here. And our psi of x, our initial wave function, is a piecewise function, so we're going to have two integrals to calculate. And the first one goes from 0 to a, and psi of x is equal to a times x over a. So psi squared is a squared over a squared times x squared, and then times x right here from the expectation value equation. So this is going to be x cubed dx plus the integral from a to b of psi squared, which is a squared over b minus a squared, and then x times b minus x squared dx. So we just need to solve this integral right here, this integral, and sum them, and this will be the expectation value. So a squared over a squared times x to the fourth over 4, evaluated from 0 to a, plus a squared over b minus a squared, times the integral from a to b of x times, foiling this out, we get b squared minus 2bx plus x squared dx. The left-hand side just simplifies to a squared times a squared over 4 plus a squared over b minus a squared times three separate integrals here. The first one being b squared times the integral from a to b of x dx minus 2b times the integral from a to b of x squared dx plus the integral from a to b of x cubed dx. And remember that a from part A is root 3 over b, so a squared is just 3 over b. So this just becomes 3a squared over 4b plus 3 over b times b minus a squared times the first integral is just x squared over 2. So this just becomes b squared times b squared minus a squared over 2 when you plug in the bounds. And this second integral is just x cubed over 3. So this just becomes b cubed minus a cubed over 3 plus b to the fourth minus a to the fourth over 4. And now let's go ahead and multiply everything out on the right-hand side. So we're going to have 3a squared over 4b plus 3 over b times b minus a squared. And then we're going to get b to the fourth minus a squared b squared over 2 minus 2b to the fourth plus 2a cubed b over 3 plus b to the fourth minus a to the fourth over 4. And let's go ahead and get a common denominator between these two because we're going to need to sum them eventually. So the left term will be multiplied top and bottom by this term right here. So we're going to have 3a squared times b minus a squared over 4b times b minus a squared, plus this term right here will be multiplied by 4 over 4. So we're going to have 3 over 4b times b minus a squared, because I'm going to multiply the 4 into here. And when I do that, I get 2b to the fourth minus 2a squared b squared minus 8b to the fourth plus 8a cubed b over 3 plus b to the fourth minus a to the fourth. And we can go ahead and multiply this a squared by this b minus a squared term right here, and then combine this 3 over 4b times b minus a squared, because we see that in both terms. So we're going to have a 3 over 4b times b minus a squared, all multiplied by a squared times b minus a squared, which is just b squared minus 2ab plus a squared. And then this 2b to the fourth adds with this b to the fourth to be 3b to the fourth, and 3b to the fourth minus 8b to the fourth over 3 is just b to the fourth over 3. So we have b to the fourth over 3 minus 2a squared b squared plus 8a cubed b over 3 minus a to the fourth. So let's go ahead and simplify this further. We have 3 over 4b times b minus a squared times a squared b squared minus 2a cubed b plus a to the fourth plus b to the fourth over 3 minus 2a squared b squared plus 8a cubed b over 3 minus a to the fourth. And we see that the a to the fourths cancel, and we can simplify it further. B minus a squared. We see that there's an a squared b squared term here and an a squared b squared term here. So that just becomes, there's a b to the fourth over 3 minus a squared b squared term here. And then there's a minus 2a cubed b with a 8a cubed b over 3 term. So that just becomes 2 plus 2a cubed b over 3. That's that. So now we can go ahead and multiply this 3 into here, so we can cancel these 3's in the denominator, and we can factor out a b from each of these terms to cancel with this b in the denominator. So let's go ahead and do that. So we left with 1 over 4 times b minus a squared times, we're going to get a b cubed minus 3a squared b plus 2a cubed term. And we are hoping that there's going to be some multiple of b minus a here so that we can cancel it with this, but we know that it's not going to be b minus a cubed because there's only one cross term here. So it's going to be some b minus a squared term, which when we FOIL out, it's just b squared minus 2ab plus a squared. So we see that there are b cubes and a cubes here, so we're going to need both an a and a b. So we're going to need both an a and a b, but we see that there's a 2 on the a cubed term, and the only way for that to happen is if there's a 2 on this term right here. And actually when you FOIL this out, or when you multiply this out, it does give this polynomial right here. So this gives this, so this is in the numerator, and you can cancel this b minus a squared term right here with this b minus a squared term, and you're left with the expectation value of x to equal 2a plus b over 4, and that's the final answer.